On this episode of Tales, the show models Queen Mary's song, My Life. This episode was directed by the beautiful, talented, and very flamboyant Tasha Smith. The show opens up at an apparent NA or AA meeting. In first glance, it looks like an episode of Empire because first we see Anika or Boo Boo Kitty. Then we see this guy, a cop who was trying to bring Lucius down in the show. I think he was also a brother of Lucius. So apparently he was her sponsor and helping her stay off drugs, but end up doing a little bit more than that. And now he wants to break things off with her at the AA meeting or the NA meeting. So she walks home furious after leaving her NA meeting because her sponsor and supposedly lover tells her that he's getting back with his wife and trying to make his family work. How convenient. So when she gets home from a long day and all she wants to do is just rest, we find out that she stays with her mom. Then we find out that her mom is no one other than the wonderful, beautiful, dimple-faced, great actress Debbie Morgan, or the aunt from Eve's Bayou. So her mom says, "Baby, I need to talk to you about something." And they sit down and she reveals to her that her cancer has came back and she doesn't have much time to live. So with this devastating news, they vow to spend their last time together and make the best of it. Next, we find out that Edie on this show, is a maid at the hotel. And as she's cleaning the room, she stumbles upon a beautiful dress and she gets to playing around. But the dress does not belong to her. Obviously, it belongs to one of the higher end clients that's staying at the hotel. Then she comes in and catches her playing with the dress. But instead of being mean or bitchy towards her, she gives her money to make a dress because apparently Edie is a wonderful designer. At this point, we are also introduced to her good friend and co-worker at the hotel. Now, when she gets home to spend some much needed quality time with her mom has a lot of unpacking to do because she drops a bomb on her and tell her that she's not really her mom. She's actually her aunt. This obviously makes her furious because how dare her aunt not tell her all these years that she's really not her mom until there's no more time left. So with Edie furious, the mom explains that her biological mom was really very smart. She went off, met this guy, this white guy, and got with him. He introduced her to a lot of drugs and was very abusive and eventually went on to kill her. So this was the reason why she took her in and raised her as her own daughter and never said anything. But it was just too much for Edie to handle. She just couldn't take all this information. She was too hurt, so she cursed her mom out and just stormed off. She knows she had did too much, so she called her mom, but she didn't answer, so she left a voicemail apologizing and telling her that she was the best mom that a girl could have. But by the time she got home, it was too late. Her mom had collapsed on the floor and she was dead. On top of everything, when she returned to work, she found out that she was being laid off. Now what the hell was Edie supposed to do? It felt like her life was just crumbling before her. So she went back to meet up with her sponsor, Chris, the other guy from Empire. And he still wasn't giving her the time of day. All she wanted was somebody to talk to, somebody to make her feel like she wasn't spinning out of control. But since he had slept with her, the lines were blurred, so he couldn't be a proper sponsor. So with bills piling up, 2 mortgages took out on her mom's home, no life insurance, no money, no job, her life is in complete shambles. So she hits the bottle and hits it hard. After a long night of drinking and packing to get out of the house, she has a conversation with a depiction of Jesus. She pours out her heart to God in anger and tells him that he hasn't been there for her, that he wasn't there for her mom. The next day, she gets the last of her things and leaves her mom's house. After leaving the house, she has nowhere to go, so she stays in a storage unit. She just can't take it anymore. So she hits the streets to find drugs, and she goes to her old drug dealer, who's played by Rick Ross. And Rick Ross did a good job. I mean, he played Rick Ross. After she gets back to the storage unit, she has a breakdown. She takes all the pills and stuffs them in her mouth. But thank God she doesn't do it. The next day, she walks through the town and sees herself in a reflection in the mirror. But then she notices that she stumbled upon a beautiful boutique. The owner of the boutique is no one other than Ben Vereen. So as he's designing the dress or putting the finishing touches on a dress of a very unhappy client, Edie decides to barge in and offer her expertise. But they kick her out of the store. But Edie has a plan. She goes back to the storage unit and creates a beautiful piece for her to show to the designer. So then she takes him the design and he loves it. They talk over coffee and he offers her the position to make further designs for him. So then he gives her fabric so she can do what she does best, design. But as she's designing, she finds a picture of her mom and dad and another little girl. And she looks on the back of the picture and it's Caroline. That's right, Caroline, the same one that gave her the money in the beginning. So in the end scene, we find out that Edie is happy now. She's designing. She's gave her life to the Lord. And she's not hurting anymore. On top of that, her friend comes to support her and her sister. Because in the end, we find out that Caroline is her sister. And Caroline gives Edie money from their dad. And ain't nothing wrong with it. So how did y'all like this episode? Was it a yay or a nay? Don't forget to tell me in the comment section down below. And don't forget to subscribe and press that notification bell for more videos. And I'll see you guys with another video sooner than later. Bye.